Hey guys, we wanted to talk a little bit about our experience taking a short weekend trip to Walt Disney World, and we got a lot of questions about what it was like and if it was worth it and all kinds of questions. So I thought I would just do a quick video instead of trying to answer them all on social media, because Twitter, it's hard to type a long answer, and there's no real easy, quick answer to this because there was good and there was not so good, and so we can talk about all of it. But this is just our
experience, though.
Right, this is just our opinion. It's not to say it's going to be right or wrong for you. So I thought we'd start out with the pros.
Okay.
So when I say a weekend trip, I don't mean a long weekend. I'm talking literally leave after work on Friday, fly out, or if you're close enough, I guess you could drive. But see, driving I think would be okay. If you're like within 2 hours, sure, make a weekend trip. But I'm talking more if you're flying, like really committing to go and then coming back on Sunday. And I know I've heard some people say they come back Monday morning, but we both have to work so early, that's not possible. We wouldn't get back in time.
Well, you wouldn't want to risk missing a flight
and
or
not
delays.
Making it to work.
And that's the reason why we left early Sunday morning instead of later in the day, because typically later flights do get
Those are the ones that
bumped.
get delayed and bumped, yep. So the pros, the big obvious to me is it gives you a Disney fix between your bigger trips. So we didn't want to do this to replace our other trips. This was meant to supplement them or give you a little fix in between. And it's also a good way to pop in if there's something specific that you want to do, because there were two things that we wanted to do on this last trip. One was celebrate Brian's birthday at Walt Disney World, because we've only been there once on his birthday.
Which we don't remember, right?
It was 8 years ago, so memory fades. And then, we didn't realize until Google Photos told us that we had been there on his birthday. But also, we wanted to see the Festival of the Arts at Epcot.
New for us.
Yeah, we had never been. We didn't go last year, which was the first year of the festival, because they announced it so late. It was kind of too late to make plans. So we wanted to check that out because it seemed really interesting. So it's a good way if you want to just pop in and see something new or something different, but you don't want to commit a week trip, or say it's a time of the year that you just don't want to be there for a week. Like, say when Toy Story Land opens, you'd like to go see that, but you don't want to be there for a week in the summer when it's hot. That'd be good way, to go check it out without, committing a full week. So I think the other thing is the flexibility. As far as trip planning, it's pretty easy to cancel these. Like, Disney lets you cancel their resorts up to 5 days before. If you're staying off property, it's probably even closer. Like, a lot of off-site places you can cancel even like 24 hours before, depending on where you're staying. And yes, I know there's ways even around the Disney, and also sometimes Disney will give you credit towards a future trip. So even if you had to cancel at the last minute, and then also like we fly Southwest. So I know this doesn't apply to other airlines and they charge fees, but Southwest will let you move a flight to a future date as well.
You have a year to use that fare.
Right. So, and I know that doesn't apply to all airlines, but a lot of them will let you do it for a fee, which still may be better than losing
I don't know. I've seen the fees.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're
pretty bad. Oh, okay. Then never mind then. But in any case, you do have some degree of flexibility for canceling. Whereas a big week-long trip, that's a lot harder to move because you've sort of committed and taken vacation time and all that stuff. So that's what I would say are the pros. So for the cons, I think the biggest con to me was the cost for the time that you got. So, you've got flight expense. We ended up renting a car to save even more time so that we weren't on Magical Express. And it was a cheap rental car, but it's still money. And then you've got your hotel, which even value resorts at Disney have been pricey lately, and it's been really hard to get discounts. Oh, and that's another thing. Most Disney discounts, not all, but most require a 3-night minimum. So if you're only going for 2 nights, you can't even qualify for a discount.
And weekend rates are typically higher anyway.
They are. Yeah. Friday and Saturday nights have surge rates, so they're higher. So that, I think the cost for the value of what you get, meaning the time you spend at Disney, for me, it just wasn't there. Like, once we got home and I could think about it, it didn't feel worth it to me. I feel like I need 4 days in the parks.
One day for each park, right?
Well, not necessarily that, because, sorry, but Hollywood Studios until Toy Story Land opens is like a 2-hour park right now.
No, she didn't.
Sorry for people I offended by saying that, but But you know what I'm saying. I think 4 days is just enough to relax and not feel rushed and feel like you got enough money out of the trip. Not money out of the trip, but value out of the trip. So another one for me, I don't know if this affected him as much, but was fatigue going back to work. So I worked a full week before we went, left Friday after work, after working a full day, then came back Sunday and went right back to work for another full week, another full 5 days. And so for me, the fatigue was not fun. Like this week, because it was this past week was the week back, I was really tired. I made it, but I was dragging.
I can't comment since I took a day. No, I took 2 days.
He took extra time off.
It's my birthday.
It was his birthday. So that, to me, is another con. If you're younger or maybe have better stamina than me, probably, yeah, that's what I was going to say. Probably, like, if I was in my 20s, I wouldn't think a thing about that. I would just, do that and not even think twice. But so depending on your age and your stamina, that's a factor, is fatigue. And that even counts for the time you're at Disney, too, though, because that Friday night, I wanted to go to Disney Springs, and we got in, and we were both so tired after working a full day, sitting in the airport, flying, renting a car, driving to Disney, getting checked in. Yeah. We were just too tired to go out and do anything that night.
And also, for a weekend trip, that one full day for that Saturday, it's rush, trying to get everything in, so it's not really...
It's not relaxing. Like, we didn't feel like we could take a room break, for example, because we're wanting to get as much in as we could. And that was actually my next point, was a lack of a break time, not having that downtime, because then that makes you even more tired when you get home because you've been going full on. And then for me also, I don't know if this affected Brian, but it's that sort of sadness of leaving so soon. Not so much because I'm sad. I know I'll go back. It's not that. It's just that there were things I wanted to do that I just didn't get to do. And so then you feel that disappointment, like, there were things at the art festival I wanted to do that I didn't feel like I had time to do. There was food I wanted to try there I didn't have time to try. That leaving feeling like you didn't get everything done that you wanted to. And then the last thing is, we sort of touched on this in the beginning, was the risk of a flight delay. If our Friday flight had been delayed or even canceled, that would have been a mess. So say that was canceled and they couldn't get us out Friday night and we had to fly Saturday, well, then it's not even worth going at that point. So, and same coming back, especially if you were to book your trip late Sunday or early Monday, that risk of missing work because you didn't get back. Because like when we go for a week, we tend to allow time for those things on each end, meaning we buffer the trip with a couple of days on each end. So I think that's it. Do you have anything to add?
I think that sums it up.
So I think for us, this is, again, just our opinion. We're not saying whether you should do it or not. I don't see us doing this again. I won't say never, because something might come up where we're like, oh, I really want to go see that. But I would say I would want a minimum of like adding a Friday and a Monday. So back to that 4 days again, I'd want to like be like a 4-day weekend. So anyway, we appreciate you watching as always. We appreciate subscribes, likes, shares, and comments. Until our next adventure.